to tell Ernestine sometimes. She know you love her, but you still got to tell her from time to time that you look good.
Dr. Love on this show. I've never heard anything like it.
But sometimes you need reinforcing.
Like every day?
I ain't going like every day? Ernestine, make him tell you even more than what he tells you. So Kawhi, maybe he needs reassuring that you feel this way about me.
All of this is possible because nobody knows, which leads to my bigger picture here. In my career, I have never seen anything like this because we have so many high-level reporters covering the National Basketball Association, so many I know and have such high regard for. They are all chasing their tails right now because they're having to depend on second and third hand, and it's not even information. It's more of, I think that. It's more opinions of what we think he's going to do, and then they're forced, because they're under pressure to report something. We're hearing this. Everybody's hearing this, but they're not hearing it from the horse's mouth.
Or Uncle Dennis.
Or that from inside. They're hearing it externally, maybe second, third hand, right? So I'm just going to quickly go down yesterday. This is how baffling and befuddling it was for me. My friend Brian Windhorst reports on ESPN that number 2 wants to be a Clipper. That's what I heard yesterday, okay? So fine, let's start with that. But then we had Rick Bucher sit right here on our show, late in the show yesterday, and say, he's going to Toronto. That's the first I'd really thought about that. Like, he is, but I didn't even know he was, at that moment, he was actually flying to Toronto, right? If, in fact, he was on that plane.
Yes.
Okay? And then Jalen Rose says, 99% sure he's going to Toronto. And I'm like, wow. And then right on top of that, he lands, if in fact he's on the plane, in Toronto, which would validate that premise. But then Jalen's point was he would sign for 2 years in Toronto, so it would make him then a 10-year serviceman where he could get the ultimate supermax, right?
50 plus.
Okay. And yet, then The Athletic has a piece that I think came out sometime overnight or early this morning, knocking that down, saying there's not been any discussion of 2 years. Right. And then we go down the list to, we have our man Chris Broussard, who sat here yesterday and said he's 90% sure Lakers. Music to your ears, right?
Yes.
Stephen A., my friend, said on ESPN yesterday, he's hearing it's the Lakers. So, okay, boom, boom. We got 2 longtime NBA reporters saying Lakers. And then we come all the way down to our man Chris Carter on First Things First, who once upon a time was represented by the agent who now is affiliated with number 2. And Chris said yesterday, and I think he's standing by this, that all 3 teams are still very much in play and that we probably won't have a decision now until tomorrow. Okay? Wow, that's all over the map. I've never heard anything quite this crazy. We're going to be joined by our man Kendrick Perkins later, and I've kidded that he's become the Woj of ex-players, but he had tweeted a couple days ago, he's hearing it's Lakers and it's just about done. And yet he tweeted last night upon seeing the video of what appeared to be number 2 in Toronto, he tweeted a whoops, oh my gosh, I don't know how he said it exactly, I don't have it in front of me, but it was like, maybe this means that. And I'm sure you had that feeling.
I did, and I was thinking the same things you were, Skip, like, okay, you could have had them come to you, everybody comes to you, but then I started thinking, that would be conventional wisdom. When have we seen anything conventional
I'm with you on that. I got it. But now we have a guy who very well could be playing this for all it's worth. And you say maybe this is just he's following the beat of his own drummer and it's a very different drummer?
I say he liked the process, Skip. Going to San Diego State, you wasn't heavily recruited. Skip, I want to be wanted. I want you to want me. Roll out the red carpet.
Well, he's rolling it and rolling it farther and farther. And anti your point that you made about what happened with LeBron and Kevin Durant going back however many years ago. Somehow the rules all changed this year. Somehow everybody got word of the new unwritten rules except this guy. Because everybody else positioned themselves to make their decision by 6 p.m. Eastern on Sunday night. Everybody did all their homework, all of their prep, all their due diligence, had all their meetings all last week. He's in Barbados. Right?
Sunday,
you say, well, he played.
To the victor goes the spoils.
All right. But he's not playing by the new rules, which say there's no such thing as tampering. Everybody's going to drop all their bombs on Sunday night.
But if you don't mind me asking, of all the guys that have signed, name a guy that had a tougher decision to make than Kawhi. No other guy had won the finals, became finals MVP, and possessed the potential to leave.
I think Kevin Durant's decision was equally difficult.
No. Because Skip, he wanted to leave. The thing was, Kevin Durant felt this way. Now, Steve Nash said Kevin didn't look or act fulfilled after the first one. If he felt that way, why didn't he leave?
Okay.
Because he won. Why did he leave after the second one?
Okay, so he had to clinch in his mind, I don't want to go back there for all that much more money. What was it, 50 more million?
57 million.
Okay, I don't want to do that. It takes time to work through that in your head. Then you've got to scope out the landscape. You got to figure out Clippers with Jimmy Butler. Is it a possibility? You even have to think for a second about Lakers with LeBron and AD. You have to think about it just for a moment, and then you have to say Knicks. That's a hard decision because again, that was on a silver platter for me. You got to go save the Knicks.
No.
You could make your legacy.
Yeah.
That takes a meeting. That takes time. Then you have to work through it. My man Kyrie says it's all about the Nets. Well, I need to go meet with them. I got to figure diligence has to go into all of that decision making.
Right.
And he was fully ready to drop it at really not even 6 p.m. It was at 5 p.m. Eastern. He was ready to rock.
Yeah.
Here we go. And once that domino fell, a lot of other dominoes fell right after it that could fall. But then there are a whole bunch of other dominoes that could not fall because all of a sudden, Clippers, Lakers are holding out hope they could get this guy.
I still believe, and we'll never know this, Skip, but I do wish that Kevin Durant could have been healthy and they win and he becomes finals MVP.
Okay.
And I guarantee you the decision that he must make becomes a lot difficult because you're asking a 3-time finals MVP and he's just going to walk up out the door.
But what, to your point, all that we're hearing now, it sounds like he was already ready to walk up out of the door.
Yes, and
right?
It seems that way, Skip. It's been that way for a while. But, Skip, it's hard, man. You win the title in the dip, you finals MVP. Now, we've seen guys win titles and leave because they can't afford to keep everybody. But the finals MVP, and that's what Kawhi was up against, Skip. He's the finals MVP. He sees the way the country is behaving upon his return. Like you said, if that was him on the plane, if him and gotten into one of those SUVs.
Okay, so I don't know if I should give his group credit for this, but the way they're playing it and playing it out has been the greatest play you could ever make for his brand. Because I'm going to say this one more time. This is the irony for all those out there who don't get this about me. Longtime Spurs fan. Used to be this guy's biggest fan before anybody even really knew who he was.
Yeah.
I'm raving about him, beating the table over here. How about my guy? I'm going to call his old name, Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, Kawhi.
Well, that's when he was Kawhi Leonard.
No, he always going to be
He was Kawhi the Claw. I was one of the first to say the Claw because they were already saying it down on the bench in San Antonio. They're doing the Claw and all that. And the point is, he never spoke in San Antonio. No. Not once. And I watched every game, and you know how those games go. You always get a post game with somebody, the star of the game, like the home team, right? When you're at home, you get somebody. Never him. Never. I had no idea what he sounded like until about a month ago, maybe, when he started to talk after the games.
He's not talking in meetings either.
Okay.
Uncle Dennis doing all the talking.
Well, maybe you're right about that. But my point is, that guy who never spoke for 7 years in San Antonio, who, by the way, was often injured in San Antonio and is very injury prone, as we even saw in the playoffs this year, that guy is now dominating the conversation. He is holding the whole league hostage in that all of our emotions are hinging upon his building decision. It has not been good for his brand. It has been great for his brand. It's the silent brand, but it is now the loudest brand in the NBA.
Because every conversation that has to do with sports, he's dominating it.
Okay, he is dominating it, and your man LeBron is making Space Jam, posting constantly on IG about, look at me. I'm the new Michael Jordan. I'm starting in Space Jam. That's what he's saying.
New Denzel.
Oh,
new Denzel. New Sam Jackson.
I think he's trying to out Jordan, and he will be unsuccessful once again. But the point is, he's in the background. He's in the shadows right now. He's been eclipsed by the guy who doesn't speak, by the silent man. Are you believing that?
No.
Am I right?
Look, as you said, because he's dominating the headlines, New Balance shoes are flying off the shelf. This is his brand.
Okay.
I mean, and they played it great. As you mentioned, either by accident or on purpose.
Okay, I don't know.
But this,
Not sure.
to play it out like this,
Yep.
let the feeding frenzy die down. Sunday night, Monday, okay, Wednesday, it's a little bit going on. They signed some lower tier guys. Now everybody's sitting around the television. They're not waiting for fireworks to go off tonight and hear the Boston Symphony. They're waiting on Kawhi Leonard's announcement. Decision part 2.
So is it genius or is it accidental genius? You know, is it? I don't know because nobody seems to know.
No,
right?
It may be accident. I mean, sometimes good thing. I mean, penicillin was discovered on accident.
Was it?
Yeah, left the bread out there, molded like,
Oh.
So Kawhi, who knows, built this big old multi-billion-dollar brand, might have been by accident. Silent treatment. Now everybody else going to go radio silent.
Really?
Probably not.
LeBron's tried that a couple times.
Doesn't stop, Skip. LeBron didn't stop it.
Well.
Everybody, you see what he's doing? Decision part 2. Now, what if he gonna catch the criticism like LeBron took? Is he gonna get that kind of criticism? No.
Yep. Well, we're about to discuss what's going to happen if the Lakers don't get him and the Clippers don't get him. Yes, he's going to get heavy criticism from those two camps if he leaves them high and dry.
No. You always have a plan. You always have, look, you got plan A. Okay, this is my plans. But you always got to have B, C, and D because you never know.
You know what? I think both franchises had only about plan Z.
No.
They had one plan A, and then it goes all the way down to Z.
We're in a very unique situation. And we're going to talk about this a little